Huawei at CES 2013. Huawei launched some impressive high-end devices during 2012, and to kick off 2013 they've announced some more interesting handsets during CES in Las Vegas. Huawei Ascend Mate. The biggest launch, literally, is the Huawei Ascend Mate, a quad-core Android smartphone with a massive 6.1-inch display, which is almost as big as some tablets. The display is a 1280 by 720 pixel panel with a Gorilla Glass coating. Although this is obviously a big thing to use, Huawei have adapted the interface to make one-handed operation easier. For example, the virtual keyboard can be offset to use only the left or right-hand part of the screen rather than the whole lot. The screen can also be used by people wearing gloves. Inside is a 1.5 GHz quad-core CPU with 2 GB of RAM. On the back is an 8 megapixel camera with a 1 megapixel unit on the front. There's a beefy 4050 mAh battery, and the whole thing measures a whopping 164 by 86 by 9.9 mm and weighs 198 grams. All the usual features are here, although there appears to be no 4G support. At the moment, Huawei have only confirmed a product release in China during February. Availability or price in other markets is not known. Huawei Ascend W1. Huawei's first Windows Phone 8 device is called the Huawei Ascend W1. It features a quad-core 1.2 GHz processor with 512 MB of RAM, plus a 4-inch 480 by 800 pixel display, a 5 megapixel primary camera and a 0.3 megapixel video calling one. Inside is 4 GB of flash memory, expandable with a microSD slot, and a fairly large 1950 mAh battery, quoted as giving an impressive 10.5 hours talk time and 19 days standby. The key selling point with the Huawei Ascend W1 is likely to be the price, presumably aiming to be better value than the Lumia 620, Nokia's cheapest offering. Huawei say that the Ascend W1 should be available in Russia and China from first quarter, with other markets including Western Europe and North America to follow. Huawei Ascend D2. Another high-end Android phone is the Huawei Ascend D2, featuring a 5-inch Full HD 1920 by 1080 pixel display, although confusingly there will be an alternate version of the D2 available with a 4.7-inch screen, and a quad-core 1.5 GHz processor with 2 GB of RAM. On the back of the D2 is an impressive 13 megapixel snapper plus a 1.3 megapixel one on the front. There is 32 GB of flash memory internally plus a microSD slot. The D2 runs Android 4.1 and it comes with all the usual Android features. Inside is a pretty big 3000 mAh battery, and the Ascend D2 is also water and dust resistant, and the whole package weighs 170 grams. Huawei say that the Ascend D2 will be available in China during January 2013 and will then be released later in Japan. There's no word of a release outside of those two countries, but we would very much like to see this particular handset in Europe if possible.